All right, so hi, my name is Gracie. This year for my presentation, I'm going to be talking about what you need to bring to show. First thing is a mask. They might not be comfortable, they're hot, I get it, but I don't want to be in quarantine any longer than I have to. So please wear a mask, please bring one, wear it. Next thing, most obvious thing is your animal. You're going to need your animal to show. So make sure you have all of its paperwork together, it ready, make sure it's not sick, and make sure everything's in order that way so you can weigh in and get checked in and get ready to show. So I'm going to be talking about the first thing that I'm going to talk about is getting your animal ready. So you're going to need clippers or shears if you have them, because if you haven't shaved your animal, then it's gonna need to get done. If you don't have them, if it's your first year or whatever, ask someone if they have them, and if they're not using them, if they don't need them, then they're probably gonna let you borrow them. The next thing is you're gonna need soap. You're gonna need some shampoo. I use mane and tail. I'm showing you goats, so this is all goat stuff, but if you haven't washed your animal in a long time, like months and months, there's dirt just on there super bad, you're going to want to use degreasing shampoo. You're going to put this on there, scrub them real good, let it sit for 10 minutes so that it can just break all that dirt up and get it all off. You're going to want to use brightening shampoo. Also, if you have a white animal, if your lamb, sheep is white, you're going to need conditioner. Weaver has great conditioner. You can also just use the mane and tail, that's what I use. Getting ready for it. And then you're going to need spray bottles, which sounds like, why would you use a spray bottle? But water after a show, your animal's hot, you're going to need to spray them off. Maybe put water and conditioner in a spray bottle. Use it whenever you need it. Next thing, super important, rags. Always have a rag. Always have multiple rags. Really important when you're shearing or when you're getting your animal ready. You're gonna want to get it wet, put it over its head so it doesn't overheat. Clean it off, especially for pigs. You're gonna want to have a rag to put in your back pocket, more than one rag. You just clean it off in the show ring when you need to. You're also gonna need combs. This is for a goat's leg. Wide is always really good. You're gonna need adhesive. I use medium adhesive, the Weaver. And then you're gonna need the sheep and goat conditioning spray. I use it after I baby powder the goat, whatever. Use it all over. That's really good. It's also good to put it on before leg wraps if you do leg wraps. You're gonna need curry combs. I have two. Just the little bristle ones. These are really good. Baby powder. Gonna need baby powder or powderful if you want to use that. I just use baby powder. That's stuff you need to get your goat lamb ready. And then for just it sitting in its pen when it's there, you're gonna need masks. I have multiple masks, all different sizes, big ones, a little one. You're gonna need a soft halter, just to put it on when you're washing your animal, when you're shearing it, when you're just walking it around. And then you're also going to need show halters or a show collar. Show collar just goes around a goat. It's not really in style right now. You can still use it. I'm not saying it's like you can't use it, but I prefer using a show halter for a goat. It's just more comfortable. It's easier to control them with, and I don't have to worry about choking my goat out, which is a good thing. So that's done. The next thing is feeding. You're always going to want to bring extra feed, extra of everything. Sometimes people run out of feed and don't have time to go and run and get some more, so people are going to ask to borrow feed if they have the same feed as you. It just happens. Sometimes you run out of feed, so always bring extra feed. Supplements. I am supplementing my goat with Dine every feeding, so I do some Dine, mix it with water, and drench my goat with it. The next thing I also drench is Rooster Booster. It's a B12 supplement, just makes my goat grow faster. Really helps if your animal's super small and you need to make it gain weight really fast. I would recommend this. Always read the directions on the labels. Always read how much to give your animal. Drench gun, really, really helpful. If you don't need it, cool. If you do, get one, get more than one. Always have one of these. An electrolyte supplement I use is pink to purple, so it's just a little packet, like if you have a drink mix. It's just a little packet, and then you put it in water, shake it up, and give it to your animal just for some electrolytes, hydrate, drench your animal with it. 12 o'clock is also good. It's a bulk builder. Even it just gives your animal bulk, obviously. Then I have some attitude adjustment. I haven't had to use this yet. I've used melatonin for my animal, but you give it to them before show and it just kind of calms them down a little bit. And then I have fresh H2O for this little bottle. Is for 5 gallons, so if it's just a little bucket, I just add a little bit, but it treats water you're giving your animal. So if you're at a show and they only have city water, put this in there and it takes all the chlorine out so your animal can drink it and wants to drink it. Water, always make sure they have water. Always try and make sure it's cold. It gets hot. It's hot right now. My face is red. Just make sure they always have cold water so they're drinking. And then the masks. You're going to need the masks because you're putting shavings in your pen with your animal. It looks really nice, but they will eat the shavings and get bloated, and it's just a big thing that you don't want. So make sure you have a mask. Next thing is I always keep extra carabiners and chains for my gate, for where my animal goes. You can also tie your gate up with a soft halter, which you're always going to need. I always have extra wire for posters if I'm putting posters up with my animals. Next thing, your animal might get scratched up, might get in a fight with another animal, you never know. So I have SWAT, that it's a paste that just goes on where a cut is or whatever, and it keeps flies away from a wound. And then I have Vetricine. I just have a little bottle because it can get kind of expensive, but it's really good for cuts and just healing them up. Pretty good. You want to have a blower. If it's your first year showing an animal that you need to blow out, I don't recommend getting like a blower and a sand because it's your first year. You don't know if you're going to like the animal to show. So first couple years, you don't need to spend $500, $600 on a stand and a blower. Always ask to borrow someone else's if they have it. I doubt they're going to say no, but try and be aware of if they're getting their animal ready and they're using their stuff, because it gets really stressful when everyone's trying to use the same things and no one's prepared. So it also is good to ask for help. Anyone that's older, some older juniors, the seniors, they know what they're doing, hopefully. So ask them for advice if you need it, and it's really good to pay attention to what they're doing all the time because, like I said, they're not always going to be there to help you. They're going to be busy with their animals also. So take notes, just pay attention, and know what you need to do so that you don't always have to be asking other people questions and you can just get it done for yourself. That's always really good. Feed, I weigh my feed, so I have a food scale, but it gets difficult having to just weigh everything out every time you want to feed. People might try and steal your scale. So I will weigh out my feed, bag it up, separate it so that all my feed is weighed out and I know what I'm feeding and I can just put it in a bucket and go and not have to worry about weighing. On the note of stealing, always make sure your box, you're going to want to have a box, by the way. Just a big box like this. You're always going to have one of these in tack rooms to put all your stuff in. There's little holes. You want to bring zip ties, or you can wire it shut, but zip tie it shut, and then have scissors to cut it open in the morning. but no one's in the tent at night. So you want to lock up all your stuff so people won't come in and try and steal stuff out of your box. I just have this plastic box. Sophia won a show box, which is really nice, that actually has a lock that she uses. So if you have a nice show box, always get a lock, because more than likely people are going to go for the fancy boxes before the plastic boxes to steal stuff from. Just kind of common sense. So I think that's it. And then also for taking out like adhesive and stuff, I use Pro Remover. You can also use Hocus Pocus. I like this better because Hocus Pocus can get really greasy. But always make sure you're washing out your animal after you're showing it, after you adhesive it, all that. It needs to get cleaned out, because if you leave adhesive in legs, then it's going to just ruin the leg hair, tear all the leg hair out. Really bad for it. Just make sure you're taking care of everything. Sometimes there's a trailer at shows, which is it's like the Weaver trailer. So they'll have stuff there if you forget something. But always try and have friends that have everything. So if you forget something, just ask to borrow it. If they don't have it, or if they only have a little bit of it, go and buy some just so you have some for yourself. But you always really want to be making relationships where if you're in trouble with something and you don't have what you need and you need help with something, you're going to have people there to help you. And I think that's it. Also, if you take your animal to multiple shows, you're always going to want to bleach down everything you bring, because bugs are not fun. Worms are not fun. Also, bugs. 7 dust. There's a spray and there's a dust. This is the dust. You just put it all over your animal, all over its pen. If it does have bugs, if it has mites, lice, whatever. Put this all over the pens, all over the animals. Wash the animals out. Wash the pens out. Bleach the pens. Do all that. Just try and kill everything you can so that your animal stays healthy. Electrical tape is really good for leg wraps also. You're going to need a slinky for after you shear, and a coat so your animal stays clean, because it's a pain in the butt to try and clean them after you already fit them. So just be prepared. You don't need all this stuff. Really, the main things are buckets, soap, baby powder, and then I really recommend always having Vetricin. Always have a marker, just little things like that. Always have a halter, always have a mask. But things you don't really need, if it's just like a one-time thing or a first-year thing, you don't really need all the supplements I have. You probably want to keep some fresh H2O for the water, just so they drink water. You can also haul water if you need to. But you don't really need the pink to purple. You don't need the attitude adjustment. You don't need the 12 o'clock. But I like to have them just to be prepared. Always have a box. So helpful. They might be a pain in the butt to move, but they're awesome. And please remember, masks. Get one that looks cool. Get one you like. Bring more than one. Please wear your mask. I really don't want to be stuck in the house for much longer. So let's work together on this, guys. It's going to be a great year. We're going to get through it. Thank you for watching my presentation.